Hi Elegant, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Here is Miss Nelson. So Elegant, in today's video, we are going to be talking about new German law. A lot of people are not aware that Germany this year, 2023, Germany will be granting a lot of people a resident permit. So if you are being in Germany from 6 years upward, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, people have been in Germany for like 10 years now. They are still hoping for Germany to grant them a resident permit, which is not yet done. But trust me, this years of 2023, you will be granted a resident permit. They will give you a resident permit even if you are owed a doodle for these good years, which is 6 years in Germany, 7 years in Germany. You have hold a doodle, you will be granting a resident permit the years of 2023, because it's a new law that was passed last year, which is December 1st, 2022. So this was a new law that was passed in Germany. At the start of January 2023, they will be granting people a resident permit. And after granting some people a resident permit because they qualify for the resident permit, why people who has this resident permit back then, those people will also be able, like after staying in Germany for 5 years, let's say they give you a resident permit of 3 years now. So that 3 years, if you hold that resident permit for like 5 years, and these 5 years you have been catering for yourself, you are eligible to apply for a German passport as well. So they don't require anything like B1. So we will talk about that in the at the end or at the middle of this video. But first of all, I just want to advise people that are still holding Dudu. I just want to tell them that they have a great hope right now. And I don't know if I should call it hope. I should just say it has already been granted. So we know from July last year, 2022, there was a emphasizing, there was also thinking about it just to see if we should do it this way or should we leave it the way it is right now, and so on and so forth. So there was like just debating on it. But right now, the other party has won. The other party, it came as a vote. So the vote, and then the people that decided to grant people who have the qualification to get this resident permit, those people win, for the sake of people who don't have a resident permit in Germany, even if they have been in Germany for how many years. But for the requirement, I'm just going to like name a lot of things, because there was something that come across recently that rejected to attend school. You don't have a handwork that you are doing. You are a single guy, but you have been in Germany 7 years. You are working for these 7 years or 6 years. So those people qualify. If you know that you have been in Germany for like 7 years, and these 7 years maybe you were holding a doodle, they are verlanging the doodle, which is to renew your doodle every 3 months. If you know that you are part of those people, they are renewing their doodle every month, and you are not working, you don't have occupation, you are not participating in anything like all this learning of a thing, which is Ausbildung in Germany, and you are a single guy, no work, no participating, no school. I'm not talking about you. You are not qualified in any way. So for those of you who is working and you manage to do this modulation proof on as right modulation, which is to show that you pass. There are different type of two A2 certificate. One, you need to write sprechen, lesen, schreiben, and also hören. So that is for the qualified A2, but they don't need that qualified A2. They just need this modulation oral A2 certificate. It's called oral A2. While in Germany it's called modulation. Just if you go to the class just to know how to speak, they see how, if maybe you can introduce yourself, where are you from, what is your hobby, just that petty stuff. Where do you live? Yeah, if you have, do you have a family? Just petty question they will ask you. That is the modulation as right certificate. So if you have that one and you are also working in Germany, you have apartment which maybe you also contribute, because maybe you earn less, but let's say your apartment costs 300 as a single guy, and then you will pay maybe 150. Government will be also paying 150. It's not bad. So you also qualify for this same resident permit. Maybe 3 years a resident permit, or it may be 1 year's resident permit. It all depends on how the qualification was. Okay, there are a lot of people who I know recently now. The guy have have a A2 certificate, and they also has been working like 7 good years in Germany. He's also going to like 9 years in Germany now. So the guy have been working for like 7 good years in Germany without stop. The guy gave them his passport, because if you don't release your passport, they will stop you for work. So because of that, you need to release your passport to them so that you'll be able to continue working. In this way, you have 100% right to get the resident permit. So because a lot of people who are single and they have worked for like 3 years or 4 years in Germany, and they ask them to bring their passport. They speak to a lot of people, and a lot of people discourage them not to bring their passport, and this has really caused a lot of people deportation and also stopping job. So if you stop your job, which is definitely going to worsen everything. So if they ask you for your passport, if you know you have been working, give them your passport. Don't really reason I'm a single guy, they deport my friend, I think maybe these people are also going to deport me and so on. Do not think negatively. So just give them your passport, and they will leave you to continue working. In that way, you are 100% qualified for your resident permit. I have two recent people. One has 3 years document, 3 years resident permit. That one where I said that he have A2, and also he has been working for 7 years. And this other person have 1 year's resident permit. This other person has been in Germany for like 3 years, and he has been working for like 2 years. I don't know how to speak Germany, but he has been working for like 2 whole years, and he also have a 1 year's resident permit. So that is just a new law, because they are just going to see how qualified you are. So the depends on the qualification, and then you get your resident permit depends on the qualification that you have. So if you know that you have been working in Germany, give them your passport. Try and do your A2 certificate as well. So give your lawyer your make sure you give your lawyer your what they call it this A2 certificate. And for those of you who don't have a lawyer, if you know that you have participated in a lot of things, you have your Leben in Deutschland, Ausweis-Certifikat, B1-Certifikat, you have been working, even if it's not up to 5 years, you have been working in Germany, but you have all these certificates. Make sure to go to Ausländerbehörde, which is the Landratsamt, give them all these certificates, because they will also ask you, they will give you some paper which your work will fill. That was what I find out recently. That was how they will give you this resident permit. They will give you this paper. I think it's called Wohnungsbescheinigung or so. So they will give you that paper, and also other paper to give to your employee, which is your chef at work. So your chef will be the one to fill one paper, and then your apartment, the mietler, which is the landlord of the house that you are living, will be the one to fill all the form as well. So these two paper, one from your work, one from the house you are living. So because they are going to fill it, and for your work, they will also write it there is about your Aufenthalt titel or Aufenthalt Erlaubnis. So you will mark that Aufenthalt titel or Aufenthalt Erlaubnis. So you will give to your work, they will fill it, they put their stamp and also their signature, that of your house. So give this paper, take this paper, and also take your certificate, all this your certificate that you had in Germany, and also your if you are working and there is this paper that come your in Germany is called Lohnabrechnung. So your Lohnabrechnung, which you get from your work, also take this maybe like 3 months own, 1 month, like let's say October, November, December, for these 3 months, the money you earn. So take this three paper, just do a photocopy of it. Do a photocopy. You're not supposed to give them your original one. Do a photocopy, take this photocopy, and then give to Ausländerbehörde with this paper your house fill, and the paper your work also fill. If you don't have a lawyer, you can actually do this for yourself. If you have all the certificate that I made sure, okay, if you have all the certificate, I make sure you will do all these things by yourself without requiring for a lawyer. But if maybe you don't want to do it alone, you can just go to any learning all this diaconi can also help you as well. So go to diaconi, give them all this your information, tell them that you have been holding a dodo. They said you are not qualified for this, but you have all it takes to get this new law resident permit due to the new law, because that is what they say. If you have all this, you are qualified. That is for the people who have hold a dodo for how many months or how many years. So this is how you will go about it. Go to the attorney or your lawyer that they should apply for this resident for you because you qualify for it. So for those of you who also have a passport, they say that if you have been in Germany, before, if you hold a resident permit for good 8 years, then you'll be able to apply for a passport in Germany. And then before you apply for this passport, you will need a B1 certificate, and you also need a labor in Deutschland certificate. But right now, for this new law, if you have hold your resident permit for 5 years, you are not required to bring anything like B1 or labor in Deutschland anymore. You just have to make your Moodlische proof, which is oral lesson, which is all this you can also get this your passport with B1, which with a A2 certificate, which is a Moodlische proof, just to know how to speak. They don't really require all this lesen, sprechen, schreiben, hören. They don't really need all these four things anymore. They need just the aura, just to know you can speak. Because I know a man that have been trying to write this B1 certificate almost like 2 years now. This man is still struggling to write a B1 certificate, although he know how to speak, but he don't know how to read and write. So because of this, it has really stopped this man for getting his passport. But now that they have this new law, I think it is now for him to apply for, just go to the oral school, because oral school is different from the other school, as I explained earlier. So it's different for that one. Go to oral school. It's more also less price than the other one. The other one is more expensive than the oral lesson. The oral lesson in my city is I think 85 euro or 87 euro, but the main one whereby you will just say the four things, that one costs 150, 160. So you can see the difference. So that was the kind of certificate I had. So all these four things with the B1. So that is the certificate I had, which also labor in Deutschland as well. So I have all those my own certificates. If you are applying for your passport, try and do it now. You don't need anything like B1 anymore. You'll be able to get your passport after being in Germany for 5 good years. If you have been in Germany for 5 years, you can apply for your passport now, which is the citizenship. So 5 years you can apply for it, and this 5 years you will be the one to cater for yourself. Government is not supporting you for these 5 years. You will bring all the necessary document that you have been the one catering for yourself for the good 5 years as you claim. So they will provide everything to them, and they will also need other requirements and so on and so forth. But just for you to know that it's no longer 8 years but 5 good years in Germany, you can apply for the citizenship. And for people who is older than 67 years are not supposed to do all this oral lesson, they can just apply for their citizenship, and they got it smart. So elegant, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this my YouTube channel, and I will see you elegant in my next video. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Do make sure to stay blessed, and bye bye.